Major League Baseball, or copyrighted song performances. If you are attempting to listen to one of our talk programs or Harrison County Sports, please stand by. Your program should begin very soon. Every month.
It's Tuesday, September 17th, and you're tuning into Coffee Break here on WCYN's 1400 AM and 101.3 FM. Today's show's being brought to you by Cockrell's Auto Center, Van Hook Hardware, Ewatt's Grocery, E.D. Bullard Company, Woodhead Funeral Home, Eastside Pharmacy, Hinton Mills, Flower Depot, Sora Home Medical, and the Harrison County Farmers Market. Now, let's say good morning to our host. It's Doug Miller.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee Break. It is 60 degrees outside, a bit overcast, but right agreeable the weather is. Trent. You know, we were talking about Trent earlier, Reed.
Were we?
Yeah, it's your fault. Anyway, and we were talking bad about him, too.
Oh, man.
Yeah, good thing he wasn't here.
Hope his ears are burning.
But we were off the... No. Today it is overcast, and there has been talk of a hint of rain. How big is the hint? Do we know?
The hint is about a 45% chance at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
So We'll see what happens.
That's about the time I need to go from here to the courthouse, so that's when it will pour, baby. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And since you're made of sugar, you know, you'll probably melt, Doug.
Because it messes my hair up, you know.
Yeah, I know.
With these extensions and stuff, you have to be careful.
The new highlights are good.
You like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brings out your eyes.
You know, the other day I mentioned that I saw a sticker about Bigfoot.
Yeah.
On the back of a truck.
You did.
It was the Bigfoot response team, and I'm glad we've got one here. But I got to thinking, you know, they've been looking for Bigfoot since the 60s. They used to have that picture in the back of all the comic books, you know. You're too young to remember that. But if they find Bigfoot, what are they going to do? Are they going to trap him or what, you know, send him to college? He'd be a heck of a linebacker.
Send him to college? I don't know.
What are they going to do if they ever find Bigfoot? I hope they don't shoot him.
I hope
it could be a her Bigfoot, you know.
It could be. I hope they put shoes on it.
Yeah. There's a show on WCYN that people talk about a lot called Overtones Live. What's that all about?
Is there?
Yeah. You've heard about that, haven't you?
Have I?
Yeah.
It comes on Sundays or something like that, right?
Is that when it is, Sundays?
Yeah, Sundays.
Well, you run the place. When is it on?
It's on Sundays from 7 to 8.
I got somebody here that knows about it.
A little bit.
Yeah.
You said overcast. Now we're talking about overtones.
Overtones, yeah. Well, we'll have some good overtones to get rid of the overcast
There we go.
Because we're talking to, the overtones folks, Warren Cobb and Renee Collins-Cobb are with us on Coffee Break this morning. Good morning, folks. How are you?
We're great this morning. How are you all doing?
Doing good. Warren, you going to speak up?
Good morning to you.
And it's a joy to have you back, really, because you are one. I believe last year you were on the show with us, weren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, we got
this
to meet
is our
you.
annual visit.
An annual visit. Well, make sure we do it each and every year. And along with Warren and Renee, we have Cynthiana's own Trudy Sosbe Rose, often featured on Overtones. Right, Trudy? Good morning.
Good morning.
You don't have your guitar today.
Oh, I always have one, but I thought I'd spare you this morning, leave it in the car.
You know, we expect you to perform. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, she's performed on Coffee Break before.
Yes, she has.
Yeah, she's good.
She is very good.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to kind of throw the show to you folks today, okay, because you are used to being in front of microphones a little bit, aren't you?
Yes, we are. And we're so glad to be here this morning in Cynthiana, living on the air in Cynthiana, that is.
Hey, yeah, there you go. You remembered.
Yes, I did. And I am really pleased to start off the show by talking about Listen Locally's open mic at Big E's Bar and Grill, to which we have recruited the amazing Trudy Sosbe Rose, to lead up efforts there in hosting and also recruiting some really good acts as well. And I'm going to turn it over to her. I just want to talk about the Listen Locally open mics. These are a series of open mics that we've had traditionally across the state, and we had them really going well before COVID, of course, right? So we had a huge network. So we are actually just kind of getting back into this realm of open mics. We love open mics for so many reasons. But let me turn it over to Trudy and let her talk about her experience. There's been 2 of these so far, and let's just talk about all the details and who has shown up and what has been so great.
Well, it's really been a lot of fun, and I am excited to be able to host it for 2 reasons. One is anything positive that goes on in Harrison County. As you know, Doug, I'm a Harrison County flag waver.
There you go.
And so I appreciate Overtones and Listen Locally supporting this venture. And the first night that we had it, we had 6 artists, myself included, who performed. And basically what happens is if you're out in the world and you want to share a talent, all you have to do is show up at Big E's out on 36 West here in Harrison County, and you can showcase your talent. So if that is playing a guitar and singing, that's great. If it's reading poetry, if it's the harmonica, no matter what it is, you can come to the open mic, and we will embrace you and sign you up. And also, while you're there, you can get something good to eat and visit with friends. So it's been a lot of fun. I was telling Renee, one of the things that has happened that really made me happy was the second one we had, which was last month. A couple came from Maysville, and she said that she had seen that it was advertised on my Facebook page, and she wanted to hear one of my songs. So I think that's great. It's great for me because I'm always happy when I feel like something I'm doing is bringing somebody some joy. But it's also good because it brings folks from out of town into Harrison County. So it's been a good, positive experience.
Now, Big E's is the location. They've changed the name of the place a few times, but so people will know, Trudy. How long has it been Big E's? Maybe you don't even know that, but it's across the road from Poindexter Pike on 36.
Yes.
Right across, as we were talking, from where Cat's Country Store used to be, right? Yeah.
Right. And if you're too young to know where Cat's Country Store
is,
then you might have known it formerly as Joe's Bar and Grill.
Yeah,
so now it's Big E's Bar and Grill. And I believe they opened in June of this year.
Now, if a person wants to perform, this is like karaoke on steroids, folks, okay? Only you do it. Yeah, if somebody wants to perform or, get in front of the open mic, do they just show up, or do they need to let you know ahead of time? Or, if you got 25 people show up, that's going to make for a long night, Trudy.
Well, it's the first Monday night of each month.
And
the time that we set aside was 7 to 9. Mm-hmm. So if you feel like you want to perform, it's best if you get there 7:15. Okay. And get your name on a list. Yeah. And then we can adjust. If there are 6 people, then each person would maybe perform 3 songs apiece. Yeah. If there are 10 people, then we might back that down to 2 songs apiece. Yeah. And then we can always, I don't always have to perform. Sometimes I just announce who's going to be next and where they're from and that sort of thing.
You have a good time doing that, I bet.
I do.
Yeah, I bet you do.
I do. I like people, and I love music, and in this area, there are so many talented folks. And as Renee was saying, before COVID, things were starting to open up a little bit for local artists and regional artists where you could find a place to go to play music if you wanted to. And then COVID shut a lot of that down. Yeah. And so then you were scrambling to find anywhere to play. But in recent months, I would say in the last 2 years probably, there's an open mic pretty much any night of the week. Mm-hmm. But there really wasn't one here. Yeah. And so I wanted for there to be an option to come to Harrison County and play music if you wanted to.
And it's every Monday night at Big E's out on 36.
It is the first Monday night.
What did I say?
Excuse
me, I'm
the
sorry.
We hope to get it to that.
Yeah, I mean, if
soon to be all the,
we'll see how it goes. But right now, it's the first Monday night.
Now, I'm thinking about prospective performers out there and what they might be thinking. And as you know, Trudy, I know nothing of this, but you mentioned you could come and bring your instrument and sing. Now, a lot of people, they'll use canned music or something like that. Do they have equipment out there for that? Or if I come out there and say I want to sing Seeger's Main Street, can you just pick up your guitar and accompany me on that? Or
Well, I don't know if I could, but there's probably somebody there
somebody
that can.
around there, yeah.
And then I do have the capability to plug in. Like an individual could just bring their iPhone if they wanted
really?
to,
Yeah.
if they had,
Okay.
karaoke track or something.
Yeah.
And we can plug it in, and they can use that.
There you go.
So it's a friendly thing, and my favorite thing about it is the networking that you can do with other artists. A lot of that goes on. We'll sit around and talk about where are you going to play next, and what did you think of that venue, and all of that. So
You get the instant feedback of a live crowd.
you do, and I always learn something. I mean, that's always been my goal everywhere I go. If I can learn just a little something from somebody while I'm there, I feel like it betters me as a musician,
I was looking at Warren there as you were talking. He's already learned something this morning, haven't you, Warren?
He already knew it.
You notice
He
I
already
let the
knew
ladies
it.
speak, Warren, first.
The
yeah.
thing I love about this and all the open mics that we've done over the years is that there's so many folks that write songs and sing and play, and they may just do it in their bedroom. They may not
Shower,
have a
yeah.
venue that they can really perform at. And so, our original idea for this was to have enough open mics across the state to where you didn't have to drive more than an hour in any direction to get to an open mic.
Yeah.
And we had that before COVID. And you just never know who's going to show up, how great they're going to be. We had a guy drive from Western Kentucky to come to Lexington to be on a Lexington stage because he never had been. And he's 3 years later, he's touring the state playing music, and nobody had ever heard of him before this open mic. And he started, slowly inching his way into clubs and venues and whatnot. And now he's got records out. And so
A band,
it's
full band
just, that kind of thing I just love,
And the open mic situation, that's part of the overall Overtones, and we, obviously we've introduced you, Renee, and Warren to our audience before, but in case somebody happened to miss Coffee Break, and generally that's only like for a wedding or something in most people's lives, you know what I'm saying? Some people get married at 8 in the morning. I don't know, want to get an early start. But no, tell us, about you all, first of all, and you both have interesting backgrounds in music, and about Overtones in general. You want to do that for us, Renee or Warren?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, Overtones Live, it started out as Overtones, and now it's evolved to Overtones Live, because what we do is we have one live performance of Overtones. It's a performance show, basically. And then the other 3 weeks, we tend to go into the studio and do some talking like we're doing today. And we have musicians like Trudy come in with their guitar and share their new work. We've had a lot of themes around the show lately. Tonight we're having a girls' night out show, which Trudy's going to be a part of, and Trish Torline, who has been here very many times.
Yeah.
And also featuring just the best of what the state of Kentucky has to offer music fans. And we always say we're encouraging you to, listen locally in all that you do, because we feel that this is where a lot of talent is. And this is a place where a lot of people, their careers are born. Warren talked about, one individual that was coming all the way from Western Kentucky, and that was because there wasn't an opportunity in Western Kentucky to have an open mic or to participate. But what we have been able to do as well with the show is look at some of these listen locally participants at the open mics, and it's kind of like a farm team. We have the AAA, and we move them kind of up through the progress of the channels that we have. But we've been doing the show now. We're getting ready to start our 9th season. And it's been basically born out of Lexington.
Well, I was going to say you all are out of Lexington. And you produce the show. Where do you produce it at? Actually?
Well, we produce it at our home.
Oh, do you?
We basically record a lot of what we do.
You got a studio in your home.
Well,
kind of,
we've got a computer, and in these days, that's all you need. And we also we farm out our sound engineering for these live shows to a great sound engineer that mixes it for us. We have once a month. We are doing the show in Nashville now at Nash House Southern Spoon and Saloon on 8th Street. Trudy has been a wonderful part of that experience as well. And this has been giving Kentucky people a place to come and enjoy a Nashville stage.
There you go. So you think you're a star? Hey, you might be. You just might be. You can get a dose of it and find out and enjoy yourself at Overtones Live, the open mic, which is at Big E's Bar and Grill on U.S. Highway 36 every Monday night.
Once a month.
Once a month.
First Monday.
You know something? Me and calendars.
Hey, well, we can dream, right? We're going for that.
Well, if they show up every Monday night, at least on the first Monday night of the month, they'll know they're on the right night. And if they show up the other 3 nights, well, Big E's will thank me. No,
They
really,
will.
it's just the first Monday of every month, right, Trudy?
Yes.
Trudy's looking at me like, what's wrong with this guy? It's age.
We feel it.
Every Monday night, I'll say it again, at Big E's Bar and Grill. It's the open mic. Overtones Live. We'll be back with you, Warren, Trudy, and Renee, right after this.
Recovering from the trauma of a car accident is stressful enough. Finding a good repair shop shouldn't make it worse. Cockroach Auto Center on US 27 South has been at the same location since July 1981. And with 10 technicians, you will get your repair work done right the first time in a timely manner. So take the anxiety of repair off your shoulders and allow Cockroach Auto Center certified technicians to return your vehicle to its original condition. Cockroach Auto Center, locally owned and operated since 1981.
Do you shop at TrueValue.com on the internet? Get free shipping to Van Hook Hardware on all your TrueValue.com orders. Ship UPS at Van Hook Service Center. Be sure to like Van Hook Hardware on Facebook.
The True Value Bargains of the Month, good while supplies last through until the end of the month. Your choice, Pennzoil, 1 quart motor oil, $4.99. Feister's Telescoping Bypass Looper, $25.99. A Stanley 25-foot control lock tape measure, $9.99. A TrueGuard Nearly Invincible Tactical Flashlight, $19.99. A Zinsar 1-gallon Bullseye 123 primer, $28.99. A Green Thumb 6 cubic foot steel wheelbarrow, only $69.99. A True Value 18-count 39-gallon lawn and leaf bags, $5.99. And a Rubbermaid 32-gallon roughneck trash can, only $27.99. That's Van Hook Hardware on Pike Street in downtown Cynthiana.
Come and listen to my story about the boys named Clough. They grew up fast, they grew up tough. Then one day Harm said to his heirs, it's time to take over the little store at Lair. Ewalt's Grocery, that is. Carhartt coats, pocket tees. Well, the next thing you know, there's clothes everywhere. The kinfolk said, sell boots, we'll buy a pair. Ewalt's for all the family, 'cause they loaded up the store with everything you need. Clothing, that is. Carhartt, Mossy Oak. For the best selection of Carhartt clothes, there is no doubt. It's Ewalt's Grocery on 27 South, just past the fairground at the bottom of the hill. Tell them I sent you and get a good deal. Well, now it's time to say goodbye to the boys out at Lair. They'd like to thank you folks for kindly shopping there. You're all invited back at any time you know, just to hear them say, have a good one, bro. Ewalt's. Set a spell. Try some boots on. Y'all come back now, you hear?
Ewalt's Grocery at Lair Station has the biggest names in footwear. Carhartt, Georgia, Muck, Timberland, John Deere, and Irish Setter.
If you have a comment or a suggestion for an upcoming coffee break program, call 234-1400 or send us a message at the coffee break page on our website at WCYN.com.
Well, now, you probably already know this, ladies and gentlemen, but if you hear me give a date, time, or any kind of an event, fact check me. Because about 50% of the time, I'll mess that up. But I'm going to get it right this time, folks. Overtones Live, the open mic event, is at Big E's Bar and Grill. It's hosted by the one and only Trudy Sosbe Rose. And it is the first Monday of every month. There you go.
Woo, yeah.
No other Monday. You go out there on another Monday, hey, you know, they'll enjoy having you there at Big E's. But you won't be able to perform. There you go. Now, you know, I want to talk to you about some of the people that have been on the open mic and ask you about that. But, you know, if you see somebody that, you know, like Trudy here or anybody else, you could, you know, you and Warren, Renee, can push that career a little bit one way or another. Am I right about that?
We like to think
You
that,
got
but
some
they do well
networking.
on their own. Yes,
Yeah.
we do have some networking, but they also help us network as well.
There you go.
Some of the, like I said, some of the participants that we've had come through our Listen Locally open mic. I'm thinking most notably when we used to have it at the Twisted Cork, which is in Lexington. We had a young man show up and just start performing his songs. We did have that one weekly. His name was Philip Leland, and he's from Denmark, but I think his family was over here working, as many, Lexington, employees tend to come here overseas. But he was real young, and, he decided to kind of, make a move and try to, get his music more heard. Well, COVID hit, and all of a sudden, about a year later, we see that he is on Denmark's X Factor.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he had moved back over to his home, and all of a sudden he's a top 10 contestant on Denmark. And Denmark didn't really have quite the restrictions that the United States did on on their COVID rules. So they proceeded with a lot of their live shows. So he did very well on this show. It was they had their own version of Simon Cowell on there.
Oh,
and,
yeah?
And he did really well. It was just really amazing. We've had Abby Hamilton, who was just recently on CBS Sunday Morning for the Saturday, music spots. And of course, we've had, I think we've tracked a lot of American Idol contestants. We've had Chase Bush, Holly Forbes, who was season 21, top 10 finalists. And Sam Smith, who we were talking about, has also been a contestant on American
I'm
Idol.
his official MC when he's in Harrison County.
Yeah. So
and he was on your Overtones also.
He is getting ready to be on Overtones, coming up in November, I believe. And he's living in Nashville now.
Yeah.
So he's trying to make a go at there. And that's part of the story we're trying to tell with Overtones down in Nashville, is we're tracking Kentucky artists who are trying to make a go of it down there in Nashville.
Well, Sam is in Nashville writing songs and performing, and he has a job, I think, in the industry down there, too, obviously. But now, when you bring Sam on the show for Overtones Live, he's got the big band and the big sound, okay?
Yes.
I'm not kidding you. They will kick it.
Yes.
All right. How do you get them all in the house to do that?
They, like I said, this will be one of our live shows where we have a full band.
You have a full,
yes.
okay. I understand,
So this will be a stage performance, which we typically record, and then we take the files back. We send them off to the sound engineer. Warren has done some great job with videography, and we just kind of put all that together, and then it shows up on our YouTube channel, which we're real proud of as well.
Well, now tell people about that and how to get to it and all that, the who, what, and where of that. Warren, you want to do it? Warren is he's ceding a lot of authority to you this morning, Renee. I'll tell you, I don't know.
She's the one that knows all the names and all the dates, and
You're like me, that memory problem guy. Okay, it's the first Monday of every month at Big E's. Go ahead, Renee. Go ahead.
Well, we're here on the finished produced shows, of course, are here on WCYN every Sunday night from 7 to 8. Yeah. And we are so pleased to have WCYN as a broadcast partner to project and present all of this amazing work that Kentucky artists are doing. We also have a YouTube channel that I've been really working hard on. We now have 800 performance videos on that YouTube channel. So not only do the artists get the experience of performing on stage, or in some cases just being in the studio like we are today, they receive video from us, and that's a big plus for an artist. Video is very expensive.
It is. Can I talk about that? Please. So for someone like me, I clearly am not trying to make it big in Nashville or whatever. The music for me is something I enjoy, and I do want to do the best I can when I can, but I'm not aspiring to be, Sam Smith or whatever. But for someone like me, and particularly having video that's, produced by Warren and Renee, comes in value. It's invaluable to me because I can use that to pitch for work. I can send the videos a YouTube link to their YouTube channel and say, here, you can check out a live performance. And a lot of times that gets me work. So from the artist standpoint, even little old me, it's very valuable.
Well, little old me, Trudy, I've heard you perform your stuff on Coffee Break and elsewhere. And, of course, most of what you do, you write yourself. A lot of it is. And I'm sitting here as you're talking about, little old me. What are you going to do, Trudy? Now, you got your stuff out there, okay? And, it's out there via Warren and Renee and other places. You're out there.
TikTok.
TikTok, yes. That's where America
She's
lives.
an internet sensation now, Doug.
Well, what are you going to do when some big company from Nashville calls you up and says, ma'am, we've seen this song of yours. We want to buy that. We want to buy you. We got a contract. Okay? And all of a sudden, Trudy Rose.
What am I going to say?
Yeah.
I'm going to say, I got this lawyer friend named Doug Miller.
That's what I was getting at. Yes.
And you're going to need to speak to him
This
about
is working
this.
in concert.
Yeah.
This is what we talk about.
You sign this right here, Trudy. Thank you. Yeah. Well, yeah, call me first.
I will.
okay?
I will call you first.
'Cause, I'll be out of the state office here in a few months, so I'll be fair game again to.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
Yeah, I'll be loose. Loose
On the
cannon,
loose,
yeah,
okay.
A loose
Yeah.
cannon again. Well, if nothing else, I can be your driver, maybe.
Or my MC.
I could be your MC.
That's
I could
true.
Do that,
Yeah,
I could do that,
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now, folks, we don't just have anybody on Coffee Break. There are qualifications and credentials that we check, and I have. We've heard of the Josie Music Awards in Nashville. I have not, if I'm understanding this correctly, I have not one, not two, but three nominees on Coffee Break this morning that you're hearing who are nominees once again for the Josie Music Awards in Nashville. Congratulations to all three of you, really.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, and for folks that don't know, tell us what the Josie Music Awards are and how you wound up on the nominee list. Warren, you want to handle that one? Yeah.
I guess I'll try to handle this one.
That is big.
chime in.
That is big.
So it is big. It's the largest international awards show that we know of that features all genres of music, many categories of music production, and there's everything under the sun as far as recognition and awards. And Renee will have to tell you what we're nominated for because I can't remember.
Well, sir.
But yeah.
And just to piggyback off of what Warren said, it is the largest international for independent musicians.
Yeah.
So all of the nominees are independent musicians. They're
The
not
Indie
signed.
Awards, yeah.
Yes, they're not signed with these big record contracts, which just makes it wonderful because it's a great week of networking. Just to kind of rewind the tapes a little bit, we started being nominated for this in 2022, and at the time Warren and I won for Media Company of the Year, audiovisual.
Really?
Yes. And it was a shock. We were just glad to be nominated, so we went there, and there was about 10 Kentucky acts that first year. So if we fast forward to last year, which was 2023, that number of Kentucky participants went up to about 45.
How about that?
And Trudy was a winner last year, as well as Warren and I, for radio show production. This year we are nominated for radio show for best rock album because one of our bands has actually taken one of the shows that we did, Bedford, and it has been made into an album. So we're rock album nominees this year.
We are rocking.
And we're also nominated for Videography Company of the Year. And the number this year, I just did a recent poster with all of the Kentucky artists, went from 45 to now like 75 to 80 nominations. So it's a big weekend for Kentucky musicians. We're planning on bluing it out, just having a blue out that weekend, really just living loud and proud with Kentucky in Tennessee.
So you've won it before.
Warren and I have won it before, and Trudy has won it before as
What do you
well.
get?
So it's a very, very nice statue, crystal, engraved. But we also get, perhaps the best thing is the opportunity to network with all of these other winners. Your network expands tremendously that weekend. And also, you are able to say that you're a Josie Music Award
I'd set that on the
winner.
front porch. I would.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Trudy,
Right
in
out
her
there in the yard.
in her very first time at the Josie Music Awards, ends up in a category that had probably about 50 to 75 songwriters. So it was a songwriting award, and she ended up being one of the 12 that was recognized, along with Savannah Dean Reeves, who is from Georgetown, in that top 12.
Now, you mentioned the rock performers that you had that did so well, and that's the thing about Overtones. You're not really locked into any genre. I mean, now, we got Trudy Sosbe Rose here, is a country folk. You don't rap, do you, Trudy?
I mean, I would.
She would.
Yeah. She just songs. She gets the right material, right?
Most generally, I do not.
You're just waiting for the right rap song.
I have been known to cover some Snoop Dogg.
Oh.
Are you kidding? Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
We're going to have to hear that.
You might just be able to hear it on not the second, third, or fourth, but the first Monday of every month. The first Monday and only the first Monday. Trudy will be out there hosting it, but it's an open mic, Overtones live open mic at Big E's Bar and Grill on US Highway 36. And hey, you may want to check out the Overtones show here on WCYN every Sunday from 7 to 8. I got that right.
Yes, you did.
Hey, I'm batting 500. Not bad. Wish the Reds were doing that. Reds are having their last home outing. The Cobb family, I believe, you keep up with the Reds.
Yes.
You're shaking your head.
Yes.
It's tough being a Reds fan.
It is tough being a Reds fan.
Yes, it is. Coffee break, halftime. We'll be right back with Warren Cobb, Renee Collins Cobb, Trudy Sosbe Rose. It's all about Overtones live.
Are you looking to advance your career? Consider matching your expertise with one of the many career opportunities at Bullard. Bullard is a worldwide manufacturer and distributor of personal protective equipment, including hard hats, fire helmets, thermal imaging, and respiratory equipment. Internationally known as the inventor of the hard hat, Bullard is a fifth-generation family-owned company with headquarters right here in Cynthiana, Kentucky. If you're ready to unleash your potential, join our efforts in making the world a safer place, then join our team at Bullard, where we put the personal in personal protective equipment. Explore our career opportunities at www.bullard.com/careers.
On the basketball court, you have to know where the lines are. It's just as important to know where the lines are in your own yard. Kentucky law generally requires you to have underground utility lines located before most excavation work, even if it's on your own property. If you don't call 811 and you damage a natural gas line, the Kentucky Public Service Commission will investigate you, and you may be fined up to $1,250. Much better to stay within the bounds of the law and call before you dig to start putting in that backboard or goalpost. For more information, visit psc.ky.gov. This message brought to you by the Kentucky Public Service Commission.
I'm talking with Mary from Woodhead Funeral Home in Berry, Kentucky. Mary, there are several ways to contact people nowadays. How can we get in touch with you?
You can reach us at Woodhead Funeral Home's Memorials and Cremation Service by phone 234-5232, by email office@woodheadfuneralhome.com, by website at www.woodheadfuneralhome.com, or by Facebook.
Woodhead Funeral Home in Berry, your friends are available 24 hours a day.
Are you searching for a reliable pharmacy? Eastside Pharmacy is here for you, proudly serving our community as a family-owned and operated Health Mart pharmacy since 1974. At Eastside Pharmacy, your health is our priority. Our friendly and knowledgeable team of pharmacists is dedicated to providing personalized care and exceptional service to each and every customer. Need a prescription filled? Count on us for fast and efficient service. We offer convenient online prescription refills and hassle-free transfers from other pharmacies. We're here to make your life easier. As a Health Mart pharmacy, we bring you a wide range of high-quality products. From prescription medications to over-the-counter remedies and health and wellness essentials, we've got you covered. So whether you need a prescription-filled health advice or a friendly smile, Eastside Pharmacy is here for you. We're proud to serve you.
If you have a comment or a suggestion for an upcoming coffee break program, call 234-1400 or send us a message at the coffee break page on our website at WCYN.com.
And you're back on the coffee break train. It is halftime on Coffee Break, and hey, it's all about Overtones live this morning. The keepers of Overtones, Warren Cobb and Renee Collins Cobb, are with us this morning, along with Harrison County's own Trudy Sosbe Rose, who I will be representing when she gets famous.
That's been determined.
We need to discuss percentages, Trudy. Are you very good at math?
I'm very good at math.
That's bad. Okay. And we've not had any text on the Canuck Law text line. That's for two reasons. I haven't given a number. Most people know it anyway, but it's 855-650-4851. The other reason we haven't had any is because they're captivated by the show this morning. And before we get on with our guest, let me see here. What do we have for halftime festivities? The City Buzz magazine time is 8:34 a.m. How about that? The clock's right. And I was looking at this little. You see this Visit Cynthiana? You know, for you two out-of-towners here, it's got a lot about our town in it. And I was going to ask you, when you rode into Cynthiana this morning, Warren and Renee, did you notice these skeletons everywhere?
We did.
We did, yes.
We are Skeletonville, and you can rent your own skeleton if you wish. I just want to let you know that. You know,
good to know.
You need to have a good skeleton in your life in this day and age, okay? You know, radio is repetitive, as you folks know. And once again, I'm going to let one of you all do it so I don't mess up the dates, times, and the who, what, and where. You think Trudy can handle this?
I think so.
All right. Trudy, tell us what happens at Big E's on the first Monday of every month.
Well, on the first Monday night of every month, we are having an open mic. It's Listen Locally open mic at Big E's Bar and Grill. It starts at 7 p.m., and if you want to sign up to perform, you can come a little bit earlier than 7, get your name on the list. And that's anybody that wants to showcase any talent, and we'll be glad to have you.
All right. Now, Trudy will tell you, and as you all know before, this is somewhat of a gossip show, so we got to find out more about the guest. We all know about Trudy, but Warren and Renee have been on the show before, of course, and they are Overtones Live, and you can see the show, by the way, hear the show on WCYN on Sunday evenings from 7 to 8 p.m. But, you know, instead of just pushing music, they've made some themselves. Warren is a guitarist, right, Warren?
That's correct.
And you're a lead guitarist, is that, or do you play anything with strings? Or
lead
what?
Guitar and lead vocals, yes.
And do you do any of that anymore? You used to be with a band, or we talked about that. Tell us a little bit about the history of Warren Cobb.
Oh,
please.
goodness. Well,
we got to qualify you here. The Josie Award's good, but we need more. Okay,
yeah. Well, you know, Renee and I met in college at UK. We were both music majors. She was a bona fide piano major. Mm-hmm. I was a wannabe singer and rock and roll guitar player.
So she's over here playing Fur Elise, and you're over here singing Steppenwolf. Okay,
yes, this was
really a match made in heaven.
At the time we went, it was a totally classical-oriented school.
Yeah,
I had never touched a piano before I got to college. So, you know, my piano teacher made me promise to never ever tell anybody she graduated because I was so bad. But I muddled through, and we were in 3 different choral groups together. And that's how we met. So,
were you bass, tenor?
I was a tenor. Yeah. And so after that, you know, I had already been kind of playing out through my teenage years a little bit, and so I just continued to do that probably until my mid-30s, early 40s. Played every kind of genre. I always say I did everything except disco and rap.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But
and I can understand.
Truth be told, when the Bee Gees were big, you had to do a little bit of Bee Gees, you know.
Well, you know, in the mid-'70s, I don't care who you were, you better do some disco.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Bee Gees did it. Frankie and the Four Seasons did it. Yeah. Everybody went disco.
Right.
Yeah, had to sell.
So.
Oh boy, you remember disco? You're old enough for that.
I try not to, but yes.
I was into it.
I still got some platform shoes.
Oh my!
Yeah, I'm going to put them in the Smithsonian. My daughters just really get a kick out of them too. Yeah, and the way we looked and dressed in the leisure suits and all that. Yeah. And anyway, well, Warren, where are you from originally? Are you from Lexington?
Yes. Yeah.
I'll be real nosy. What high school did you go to?
Henry Clay.
Henry Clay. Mm-hmm. So a Blue Devil. Now, all right, Renee, it's your turn.
Well, I could just copycat like what he said as far as the first part. We did meet at the UK School of Music, where we received some excellent music training from back then what was the best, and it still is. UK School of Music is just a wonderful place to go study music. But if you can just imagine, both he and I were in choral groups in high school. Yeah. So if you can just imagine the excitement. I was from Boyd County High School in Eastern Kentucky.
Iceland girl.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Yeah.
So to me, Lexington was like the comparable, I guess, city to the Big Apple to me. I mean, to come to Lexington from Eastern Kentucky was just a thrill.
Well, Ashland and Huntington's not exactly,
well, back then it was, and
well,
you had a lot of dry counties, and
well, yeah.
we actually had to go to West Virginia to really have fun. And you talked about the disco era. Yeah. I just turned 18 at the disco era, and we could actually go across the river to dance because they would allow you to drink at 18 back then.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of part of my history. We had many years where we were apart. We kind of went our separate ways and raised separate families and did separate things, and just about 10 years ago we reconnected through an event that he and I were working on with the UK School of Music, and what we say, the rest is history.
So in other words, you all met when you were in college,
yes.
and then were separated for a time.
For 35 years.
Was there a romance when you were in college, or were you just friends then?
Yeah, we had a little bit of a romance.
So you had a romance, and it ended, and you separated, had different lives, different paths, and then you get back together again. Yeah. There's a song in that, Trudy.
That's what I was just sitting here thinking.
Yeah.
I need to write that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great story, and it is our story, but we're very proud of it, and we've been living life big in our 50s, and now we're in our 60s, and we are just enjoying life with each other, and we feel that this is the way it should have been all along.
Well, now, this piano over here, it's like the one in Billy Joel's song. It sounds like a carnival, okay? But, and I'm not going to ask you to do this, but could you go over there right now and sit down and knock off some Rachmaninoff or Mozart or something?
I could probably do Bach, but I will not do it.
No, I'm not asking you to.
And I will tell you, Warren,
if she can read it, she can play it.
Yeah, see, this is the difference between he and I. He can improvise anything. He can sit down. Anybody's playing anything in a jam session. Me, not so much. And I really feel that being trained classically all of my life has been prohibitive to me being able to go off the music. And I'm very particular. I'm a rules follower anyway. So it really, I've just never been able for somebody to just take my music away and me to play the piano. So Warren laughs because every time I hear something on the radio that's from our past, I say, I've got the sheet music to that. It might surprise you to know that I have the sheet music to that.
Yeah, we were talking about, and I've said this before, and with all due respect to everybody, I said they quit making music in about 84, but I'm thinking about, in the 70s, we had great composers, Billy Joel, Elton John, people like that, a lot of it keyboard stuff, and that was complicated stuff, but your basic keyboard that you hear in rock, in the 60s, they started bringing organs in, okay?
Yes.
And to a, trained pianist like you, and that stuff's pretty simple, isn't it? Or is it? It's always, you hear a rock organ, it's dun, 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 dun. You hit, you know what I'm saying?
It would be simple to me if I had music, but
you still would have to have music for that.
I would still have to have music. I cannot hear chord progression. I have to see it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just me. I've heard the story, though, from a few other classical.
You hear people say, well, I play by ear.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I can. I
Trudy
can chord
plays by ear.
Yes.
On the piano. I can chord. Like you'd hear a little old lady in a Southern Baptist church chord. Yeah. But I can't. I don't read music.
Well, now, if you write a song, though, Trudy, you can write it and have it in your head and know the lyrics. But if you're going to, move that music somehow, you got to have somebody put that in, what you call it, the music notes, that nobody.
To score it?
Yeah. To score it. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah.
I don't, but.
Has any of your music been scored?
No.
Well, that's one way nobody can do it but you, I guess, right?
One thing go ahead.
Yeah.
In this day and age, putting music out is a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Because everything's digital. So.
Yeah. So Renee could never play your music because she can't do it unless it's scored. And we've
Warren
already found
Very
out.
true. And I will
Warren
just tell
can.
you that if it was something that wasn't scored at the time, I could sit down and actually score it. And I just posted something yesterday that a choral arrangement of a Barry Manilow tune that I did when I was 15 years old. And I'm
Really?
sitting there looking at this, and I'm like, how in the world did a 15-year-old have the ability to do this? And our choral department actually did the performance, but I scored it soprano, alto, tenor, and bass. And I can also harmonize by ear, but I can't play piano. And a lot of people can't hear harmony.
I have a sister that's 2 years older than I am, and she and I used to sing and perform together when we were teenagers, Denise. And when we were young, my dad bought us a piano. And he said, if you can learn how to play certain things, and one song was Release Me, that was he and my mom's favorite. If you can learn to play this, you don't have to take piano lessons. And so I learned to play it, and I didn't have to take piano lessons. And as an adult, I wish I had taken the piano lessons.
Release, was that a Patsy Cline song? Or no? Who did
Jim
that?
Reeves.
Yeah, Jim Reeves, yeah. Jim Reeves. Put your sweet lips a little bit closer
That's
to the
it.
bone.
That's it.
Let's pretend that we're together all alone. That's Jim Reeves, right? Yeah.
It is.
Boy, how do I remember stuff like that? And then I forget what I've done. And I spend 25% of my time, Warren, looking for the telephone. But I can remember the lyrics of a song that I heard when I was 7 years old. And I was about 7 when Jim Reeves was big. And, boy, he was a classic voice. Yeah. I mentioned Patsy Cline, another classic voice. You ever do any of her music, Trudy?
I do.
Do you really? What do you do that Patsy did? Don't tell me Crazy.
I do Crazy.
Do you do Crazy?
Walking After Midnight?
I don't do that one.
That'd
There's
be a
another
good
one
one
I
for
do, but
you.
I can't. I'm like you. I can't think now what the name of it is.
Trudy Sosbe Rose, don't you ever show up for coffee break again without your guitar. Warren, you bring yours next time. I don't care which one you bring. And we'll put Renee on this thing over here and see what it sounds
We
like.
need to
I
make
don't
that
know.
happen for Doug.
I want to hear you two perform. You've talked a big game. We got to have some action. I'm kidding.
I'm retired.
Overtones is on WCYN on Sundays from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. You can get out to Big E's Bar and Grill if you want to try it yourself. The first Monday of every month, Trudy will be out there hosting it and put you on an open mic. Hey, 3 Josie Award winners and, again, nominees on Coffee Break this morning. We'll be right back with them and you after this.
Timing is everything. It's time to get your ground prepared for planting your fall and winter deer food plots. Spray and till your ground now, then sow Antler Builder forage seed during the ideal window before October 1st. Antler Builder forage products only include seed from this year, resulting in higher germination. Try Antler Builder Fall and Winter Mix, Deer Clover Blend, Purple Top Turnips, and Antler Builder Radishes. These are economical, high-protein options to help provide deer with supplemental nutrition all winter. See Hinton Mills for Antler Builder products.
Woof, woof. Arf, arf. Honey, can I stop barking and come out of the doghouse now?
Not until you remember what day it is today.
Thursday?
Keep barking. Maybe next time he'll remember to go to Flower Depot. He could have gotten a fresh bouquet or something from their wonderful selection of country primitive items like Willow Tree Collectibles.
Woof, woof.
Flower Depot has gifts for every occasion.
Arf, arf.
And they're an exclusive dealer of Camille Beckman.
Oh, is it garbage day?
Keep barking.
Woof, arf.
Flower Depot helps you stay out of the doghouse on Main Street in Cynthiana. Online at flowerdepotfloral.com.
Bark.
Experience the best of Kentucky's local produce and handcrafted items every Saturday from May through October at Flat Run Veterans Park in Cynthiana. Operating from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., our Kentucky Proud Market features fresh local produce and meats from Harrison and surrounding counties. Don't miss our special pop-up evening markets in downtown Cynthiana on June 5th, July 24th, and August 21st from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. We proudly accept senior vouchers, WIC, and SNAP or EBT, and we participate in the Double Dollars program, which doubles your purchasing power for these programs. That's every Saturday, May through October from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Flat Run Veterans Park in Cynthiana. Support local farmers and artisans while enjoying fresh, high-quality products. We will see you at the Harrison County Farmers Market.
For more information or to sign up to be a vendor, visit the Harrison County Farmers Market on Facebook or Instagram.
If you have a comment or a suggestion for an upcoming coffee break program, call 234-1400 or send us a message at the coffee break page on our website at WCYN.com.
And you're back with us for the fourth quarter of Coffee Break already. Time flies when you're having a good time, and that's what we're doing on Coffee Break this morning. I didn't mean to wax esoteric so much in the last quarter, talking about the ins and outs with these three individuals of writing music and having it scored or unscored. But, you know, it's always interesting to me to talk to people who do things routinely that I cannot do. Such people are Warren Cobb, Trudy Sosbe Rose, and Renee Collins Cobb. They are musicians. Right good at it, too. Josie Award winners. And, hey, you can, well, Trudy is hosting the Overtones Live open mic at Big E's Bar and Grill on U.S. Highway 36 the first Monday of every month. What time does it start, Trudy, again?
7 p.m.
And if you feel like you have music in your soul, heart, or body that you wish to emote and emit to others, you will have that opportunity in front of a live crowd, right, Trudy?
We've had good crowds. We've had
Mary. We don't have any heckling out there or anything, do we?
I mean, no, I would put a stop to that.
Okay, good.
I'm also the bouncer on
Trudy
that
will
night.
protect you.
We've had folks from Winchester, from Lexington come down. We've had a couple Cynthiana people. Lots of participation.
Yeah. They just handed me something that I forgot to do at halftime. And I don't have to tell you, Mr. and Miss Cobb, you know, you got to generate in this business, right?
Yes.
You know, we have...
Let's hear it.
Well, we have a lot of local high school sports and things on
Yes.
WCYN. And Jim Swinford is, well, he and Ed that you just met there, they do a lot of the play-by-play. But Jim also does the Coaches Roundtable show. And for years and years, that was on Saturday mornings, but there's been a change in that. We got a head football coach, a Harrison County and former quarterback here named Van Isaac, okay? We don't play Henry Clay this year. We don't play Ashland, so we won't they won't have to put up with the horrible visitors' dressing rooms at Putnam Stadium.
Oh, goodness.
And they
I was
probably,
Boyd County, not Ashland. But I
Oh,
get
you went
it.
to Boyd County
Yes.
High School? Okay, well, then you don't like
We were
Putnam
County
Stadium
Hicks. They
either.
beat the City Slicks.
There you go.
County Hicks, City Slicks.
There you go. There you go. My wife went to Russell.
Is that right?
Yeah, and Bill Faulkner.
Small world.
Yeah, Bill Faulkner, the dentist here in town, went to Russell.
Wow.
It's a small world. I don't know why we let all these mountainers over here. You know.
Because Lexington's the Big Apple.
Yeah, there you go. Well, they make good wives too, don't they, Warren?
we import them well.
Yeah, that's what I found.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Anyway, hey, the Coaches Roundtable is now on Tuesdays, folks, at 7 p.m. Hey, and it comes from Capilla, Mexican Kitchen and Cantina. That's on the corner here. If you may want to try that. I don't think they have any breakfast burritos over there, but maybe they do. I don't know. Warren Cobb, Trudy Sosbe Rose, and Renee Collins Cobb on Coffee Break with us this morning. Folks, really, it's always a hoot to have you folks in here, and we appreciate you coming in and interesting. And, of course, Trudy, you know, once again, don't come in here without your guitar again, Trudy, because you got to work.
Understood.
Get a little work out of you. And, you know, I mentioned the piano over here, and now you'll be interested in this because you like radio history. I don't know how old that thing is. I'm trying to read the name on it. It's not a big Baldwin or any of those fancy ones, I don't think. But that piano was used for years and years and years on a classic radio show that you don't see much of anymore. It was called the Harrison County Hymn Sing.
Wow.
And Miss Patty Drake, I think, was the last pianist that we had.
I sang on the hymn sing starting when I was probably 15.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Roscoe Bedford was the
Roscoe
original
Bedford.
that started it. And it was on, I think, since we've had WCYN in 56. And we have another show that's on in the mornings. It's the Trading Post, where people barter, basically. And they used to really barter. I got some eggs, I need some hay or whatever, you know. Remember, Trudy?
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's still kind of like that. And there was a college or somewhere in Florida that, you know, used that show as some kind of a cultural thing. But anyway, we'll let you, I don't know if that piano is even work now, Trudy. Do you know the piano over there?
I haven't played it for years. I don't
You
know.
used to play that same piano
I
some
did.
too, didn't you,
Mhm.
when you was on the show as a
Mr.
kid?
Bedford would make me.
He would make you?
He would make me.
Such a cool story.
Okay, I'm going to throw the show to you folks, okay? And tell us once again about Overtones, the YouTube presentations, and, you know, what's going on at Big E's on the first Monday of every month.
You can go ahead with Big E's.
Yeah.
Well, if you
Mention
don't
that
mind,
blondie too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
What's that?
They have a blondie.
They have delicious food at Big E's too. This weekend I had a blondie, which I don't know if you're familiar. It's like a vanilla
Stagwood
brownie.
Drive. Oh, I'm sorry.
That is true, but also,
It's a sandwich.
more importantly,
Yeah.
it was like a vanilla flavored brownie with ice cream and this delicious caramel walnutty sauce. Oh my gosh, it was amazing, and their food is excellent there, and of course, you know, I love the fact that they support local music, and they have musicians out there other nights also, not just the open mic night. But one thing I wanted to say, which doesn't really have anything to do with that, but it kind of does, is that the support that local and regional artists get from folks like Warren and Renee and Trish Torline and the other folks who do Trish Has Heartstrings, and there are other songwriter events. It's just so important to folks like me because it gives us an avenue to showcase, you know, our original music. And the open mic doesn't have to be only original music. It can be whatever you want to do. But a lot of the times it ends up being artists that showcase their original music. And sometimes they use that platform to say, hey, I wrote this song. I'm going to play it. Let me know what you think. It's just a good, it's got a good vibe. I mean, I hate to sound like a hippie, but it's just an enjoyable evening. And I really encourage folks to come out and listen. Even if you don't want to come and showcase a talent, you can certainly come, get a good meal, have a cold drink, and get what is basically one of the better shows you're going to get. And there's no fee. There's no charge.
Yeah, there's no cover charge.
Absolutely not.
There you go. So you can see Trudy and the entertainers free.
Right.
There you go.
Close to home.
Close to home. I still think there's a song in these two's romance here.
I already made some notes. I made some notes.
Absence maybe does make the heart grow fonder. You know?
It does. It does.
He just never could get her out of his mind. Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Well, Renee, your closing comments. We got about 3 minutes here
Okay.
left. Yeah.
You can visit Overtones Live on the internet, on the webnet, whatever it's called, www.overtoneslive.com. We also have a YouTube channel. If you just search Overtones Live, you'll see 800 full show performances as well as some individual songs like Trudy's videos are on there as well. We also are at listenlocally.com, and we also, I didn't mention, I'll say this quickly, Warren and I have a TV network that is a smart app that you can download for free called The Scribe TV.
The Scribe.
Yes, like you're writing. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And you can see people like Trudy. We have an Overtones Live channel on there as well. And that's an international TV network that we're really pleased to present the music of Kentucky on every
Well,
you can get it every day.
I'm somewhat internet challenged, but search engines are just one of the greatest inventions. Right up there with the zipper and gasoline and stuff and the wheel. But if I go to a search engine and just put Overtones in,
Yes.
I'm liable to get an array of all these goodies you're talking about, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you just want to put live at the end of that,
Overtones
it'll narrow
Live,
it down
really
a whole lot
zero it
more.
in.
Yes.
Yeah. So put
Yes.
in Overtones Live in your favorite search engine.
And we need to mention, too, that Trudy is also nominated for how many? Three Josie Awards. That will be held in Nashville at the Grand Ole Opry on October 27th. So
Is that on video or anything when they give the awards out?
we have a lot of video that comes out after, but I do not believe it's live streamed at this point. The Grand Ole Opry has a lot of restrictions on what can be broadcast out of there.
It's about the money. Yeah. Well, now, Trudy, if you got a picture or something when you get this award, you know, and bring the trophy down here that you said it was
we
crystal.
should do that next time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because we'll take a picture of it and put it on the Facebook page to see what you all have done.
Let's do that.
Yeah, there you go. Warren, have you still got your trophy? You're not using it as a doorstop or anything, are you?
Oh, my gosh. We've got a full display now.
Do you really? A trophy room at the Cobb home. There you go. And I wonder, do you still play it all?
Not really. I mean, sometimes I'll sit in with somebody if you know they're kind enough to ask, but yeah, not
Well,
much.
you see, I'm thinking of the next coffee break show when you appear. We'll have you and Trudy, you know, on the guitars and sing, and you can sing. All three of you can sing, and we'll get Renee over here on the carnival piano.
That's motivation. I'll start working now.
Yeah. I'd like something original, too, that we can debut on the show.
Well, we need to do that for Doug.
And then we'll sign some papers, and Ed can witness them, and, you know, we'll all.
We'll be on our way.
Hey, folks, it's Overtones Live, and if you want to get involved in it, Once again, the first Monday of every month at Big E's Bar and Grill on 36. Trudy will be out there hosting. If you want to get in front of the mic and try it out, you can do that. If you've done it before, they'll let you do it again. And, hey, it's always nice to have Warren and Renee in. Thanks for coming in, y'all.
Thanks for having
us. Thank you so much for having us.
Are you going to be here again sometime soon next year?
Yes. We'll do it before next year. How about that?
All right. And Trudy, you just stop in anytime you want to, okay?
All right. Sounds
bring
good.
the guitar. Hey, folks, that's it for today on Coffee Break. As always, hey, we invite you to keep living with us on the air in Cynthiana.
Thank you, Doug. And as always, thank you, our listeners, for spending your morning here with us on Coffee Break. Today's show's been brought to you by Cockrell's Auto Center, Van Hook Hardware, Ewalt's Grocery, E.D. Bullard Company, Woodhead Funeral Home, Eastside Pharmacy, Hinton Mills, Flower Depot, Sorrel Home Medical, and the Harrison County Farmers Market.
The views and opinions expressed during today's show have been those of the guest and host and are not necessarily those of the WCYN staff, management, or advertisers.